Hello people, welcome back to Vurtiny. If you're new here, my name is V, and today we're going to tackle something that I know almost every artist has struggled with at some point: comparing yourself to other artists. Whether it's scrolling through Instagram, watching a fellow artist's process video, or simply seeing someone else's work and feeling like yours doesn't measure up, comparison can hit hard. It can make us question our abilities, our worth, and even our passion for creating. But here's the truth: comparing yourself to other artists doesn't help you. In fact, it's holding you back. Today I want to talk about why comparison is such a trap, why it's a roadblock to your growth, and most importantly, what you can do to break free from it. So let's dive into why comparison is so dangerous and how you can start focusing on the one artist that matters: you. Let's be honest. How many of you have had that sinking feeling in your stomach when you see someone else's art and think, why can't my work look like that? You scroll through social media and you're seeing all these stunning pieces from other artists, and suddenly your own art feels inferior. It's like this immediate gut punch that makes you feel like you've fallen short of some unspoken standard. And obviously, that feeling can be way too common. I mean, I struggle with myself too. When we start comparing ourselves, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-doubt. We begin questioning everything about ourselves: our skills, our vision, and even our passion. You might start thinking that your art doesn't have value, or that you'll never reach the level of success that others have. But here's the problem: that internal dialogue only hurts you. Think of it like this: you're creating a narrative where your worth as an artist is tied to someone else's journey. It turns your creativity into a measure of your self-esteem. And that's, that's kind of a dangerous game to play. Not only does it damage your self-worth, but it can also stifle your creativity, as mentioned before. Instead of focusing on what you want to create, comparison turns your attention outward, making you focus more on what others are doing. This can lead to frustration, burnout, and eventually even an aversion to creating at all. When you're so focused on trying to be someone else, it's hard to find joy in your own process. I've been there too. In fact, I'm still kind of there right now. I mean, I've looked at other artists and wondered if I was ever going to make it, quote unquote. But I'm still learning that comparison doesn't push you to improve as much as you think. It only causes frustration and resentment. And the longer you stay in that space, the harder it becomes to get out. One of the biggest issues with comparison is that it's often like comparing two completely different things. Think about it. When you compare yourself to another artist, you're usually comparing where you are in your journey to where they are in theirs, but that's usually never the same place. You're comparing your beginning to their middle, sometimes even their end. And I'm not trying to say that anyone's gonna die, but what I'm trying to say is that no one's art journey is the same. Right? Just because you see someone's polished portfolio doesn't mean you know the struggles and challenges they've faced to get there. Every artist has their own story, and that's what makes their art unique. We often forget that art is a process. The artists we admire didn't wake up one day and create their best work. They worked at it. They experimented, they made mistakes, and they learned, and they grew. The path to becoming whatever mastery level of art you want to be is never a straight line. It's filled with ups and downs, failures, and breakthroughs. So when you compare yourself to someone who's been practicing for years, you're not giving yourself the time and space to grow at your own pace. Did I really just rhyme? You're basically looking through a distorted lens that prevents you from seeing your own progress. Here's another thing that I've mentioned in a previous video: perfection is a myth. There's no such thing as the best art style. There's no such thing as perfect art, no matter how flawless it looks on the outside. What we often think of as perfection is the result of countless revisions, tweaks, and experiments that the artist may not even share. And this is true. I'm sure other artists can agree that we don't post everything, right? No? Just me? So when we compare our unfinished pieces to someone's completed work, we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. No one's work is perfect, and the sooner we accept that, the better. So what does it look like when you stop comparing yourself and start focusing on your own journey? It's simple. You start embracing your individuality. Your style, your voice, and your process are unique to you. That's what I think is great about art. It's about expressing who you are, not trying to replicate someone else's path. Every time you compare yourself to someone, you distract yourself from discovering what makes you special as an artist. You start chasing someone else's style, someone else's success, and you lose sight of what drew you to art in the first place. Your voice as an artist is your greatest asset. It's what makes your work stand out. If you spend all of your energy trying to be someone else, you're missing the opportunity to build a body of work that's uniquely yours. And that's where true fulfillment in art comes from. The freedom to explore, to experiment, and to express what's inside of you. When you start creating from a place of self-acceptance, a big change can happen. Your work becomes more authentic, which can resonate more deeply with others. Because the truth is, people connect with realness, with vulnerability and authenticity. So rather than striving for someone else's idea of success, focus on cultivating your path. Create art that speaks to who you are, not who you think you should be. Let's get into some practical steps to break free from comparison and start focusing on your own growth. Number 1, define your own success. Stop measuring success by someone else's standards. Ask yourself, what does success look like for you? Is it creating something that you're proud of? Is it mastering a new technique? When you define success on your own terms, comparison loses its grip on you. Number 2, limit social media time. If social media is making you feel inadequate, now's your chance to touch grass. It could sound extreme, but maybe you could unfollow accounts that trigger feelings of comparison and instead follow those that inspire you. Fill your feed with positivity and creativity, not self-doubt. Number 3, focus on process over outcome. Perfectionism and comparison thrive on outcomes, right? But true artistic growth, I think, happens in the process. Don't obsess over whether your work is good enough, quote unquote, but focus on enjoying the act of creation. The more you embrace the process, the more fulfilling it should become. Number 4, track your growth. Look back at where you started. Document your process through photos, videos, sketchbook, whatever you want. You'll be amazed at how far you've come when you see it all laid out. Every step forward is worth celebrating. And on that note, number 5, celebrate your wins. Big or small, celebrate your achievements. Have you finished a piece that you're proud of? Celebrate it. Or did you learn a new technique? Celebrate that too. These small moments of recognition will reinforce the positive mindset that you need in order to continue growing. At the end of the day, comparison is a thief. It steals your confidence, your joy, and your ability to grow as an artist. Instead of measuring yourself against someone else, start focusing on your own journey. Your art is valuable because it's yours. No one else can create the way you can. Embrace your unique path and trust that every step, even the mistakes, are part of your growth. Your art journey is just that. It's a journey. It's not about perfection, and it's not about measuring up to someone else. It's about creating what's true to you and honoring your own process. So let go of comparison and, let yourself thrive with this new, authentic mindset. I'd love to hear how comparison has impacted your art journey. Feel free to drop a comment below and share your experiences or other video topics you want me to cover. And if this video helped you, hit it with a like. If it didn't help you, smash that dislike button and subscribe if you want more content like this. And remember, your art matters, and you're on a path that only you can walk. This is V, signing off. Bye.